I'm Wade Grunstead. I got a 2017 JK four-door. I got it 3 months ago, and I'm really excited to see what we can go do with it. The Jeep I have now is my second Jeep. The first one I had was a 1990 JK or XJ. Bought it, 100,000 miles on it for like 2K. It was the first Jeep I ever had. So that thing went everywhere. I went exploring any dirt road that was anywhere in Spanish Springs, Sparks, Reno area. I took that thing on. So beat it up. I mean, it saw more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games. I did not baby it. Probably a little bit more than I should have, probably under the hood just as much as it was on the road. One of those deals you don't need to necessarily baby a Jeep because they're built for it. You got this platform that was designed to go off-road. It started back in the early 40s when they first produced them, back in 1941. The iconic Jeep that everybody knows that had that iconic grill. Anywhere you go, you see that grill. If it's a paint job on something, or you see something off in the distance, you instantly know it's a Jeep because of that grill, the lights, the whole 9 yards. Started back when I first got it. I mean, I had it for, I don't know, a month, and I was going over to a buddy's house to just go off-roading. We didn't have a destination. We were going to pick a dirt road and we were going to go. Unfortunately, a guy ran a stop sign and ran into the side of my Jeep. Had it less than a month. Front tire got kicked, went up onto his hood. He was all Twitter-pated about like, oh God, I wrecked my car and all this. And well, I threw that Jeep in reverse and drove down off his Jeep. I think it was a Toyota or something like that. Little car. Me and my buddy still went off-roading that night. We went up behind where he lived, just on the east side of Spanish Springs, and we just went exploring, found an old part of the big ranch that used to be in Spanish Springs, kind of one of those little outcropping buildings for when they're running cattle back 1800s or whatever. I don't know how many times I'd go and try and find old mine sites with it. Never really did anything as far as upgrading it. And it was stock, and I was still able to go most of the places that I wanted to go. Being able to explore and go and see where that next dirt road's going to take you. Got invited, got to go up the Rubicon. Friend of mine got me kind of looking for another vehicle and stuff like that. Right there next to Lithia Jeep, I think it's Volkswagen, they had a Toyota Tacoma. So I went and looked at it, and it's, they're still spendy as hell. They're still 50, 60,000. We're already here. Let's walk over to the Jeep. Looking at the Gladiators, because I kind of wanted to pick up. Again, they're a little on the pricier side, even used, but this one Jeep caught my eye. Just a plain Jane white Jeep, Sahara trim package. But what got me was the big old military star. And I started looking at it. It had 33-inch tires on it. Okay, so I don't have to upgrade the tires. Started looking. I look in. It's the stick shift. And I am a sucker for a manual transmission. My dad owned several trucks that was the selling point for me. It's the 3.6 liter. That's one of those things that I wish I could afford, would be the 392. But then how much power do you really need? Because that 3.6 liter four-wheel low, I'll tractor anywhere I want to go. These guys with these Jeeps, and they're all tricked out trailer princesses. Bought it for $40,000 and you put another $100,000 into it just so you can go on the weekends and break everything on it, just to come back and spend another $10K to get it to where it'll even drive again. Being a history buff of, like, especially the World War II era, well, the most iconic thing to me is the 1941 Jeep. You see all the generals running around in them, the radio ops, transporting guys. It was one of those vehicles. Generals rode in it. You had one configuration. It was a medic vehicle. It was, made to get in, get out, scamper around. Narrow wheelbase, small itty bitty little thing. Built them, tore them down, threw them in a box, and shipped them out.